Hi everybody, this is Doug at Willy Nilly's. This will be the part 2 of the Sioux uh, fuselage build. We're going to do the landing gear and the wing dowel mounts in this episode. Okay, so first off in your kit will be a piece of .055 wire. You will use this to make your landing gear and your elevator joiner wire. The patterns are available on the website under downloads page, and they're also available on the Facebook Builders group. So find your .055 wire and find you a pair of pliers. I know I had some right here. It's real easy to follow the pattern. Each axle is 3/4 of an inch long, and put it right on the where you want to bend it. It's okay if you overbend it, you can bend it back. This is K&S music wire, so it's really good stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try to get as close as you can to this pattern so it'll work well. Probably the most important thing is to get everything even from left to right. Just about. Go just a little bit more. That's a little too much. Okay. Hey, there's plenty of wire here to do the landing gear and the elevator joiner, and just a little bit extra. There's not a whole bunch of extra, but make sure you save that piece of wire to make your elevator joiner. We'll do that later in episode 3. As you can see, we got it pretty darn close. Of course, I've been up 2 or 3 of these, so in the past. Okay, on your plywood piece that was supplied in your kit, this piece right here is your landing gear mount and doubler. Something you'll want to round up is some fishing line. Do yourself a favor and go get some 25-pound monofilament fishing line. It works great for hinges. It works great to tie your landing gear. Plus, you can always go fishing. So, what I like to do is we're going to knot this in 4 different places. So I'll cut it about 4 inches long enough where I can get my big fingers on it and tie it. But you'll see, hopefully I can get this in the screen. You can see how this needs to line up. And then what I do is I like to tie the knot. You want to put the fishing line through each hole. I like to put the knot on the side that the wire is on. Okay. Then you can just give it a couple knots, lock it in place. Don't worry about your landing gear moving around just yet. One more tie. You can also use the little twist ties on bread wrappers. That soft wire works really well too for this. Just take the plastic or paper coating off of them. Just use the soft wire that's inside. You can also use copper wire, any kind of soft wire works really well. Okay, now I'll start on the other side. Just make sure that each part of your string or your wire goes on both sides of the wire, so it'll actually hold it. So this part's a little fiddly with the fishing line, but it works really well. The soft wire is actually easier to use. So if you have that, I advise use that. Just because it's easier. Doesn't mean it's necessarily stronger, but gosh darn it. It helps if you don't have a cup of coffee right before you try to do this little fiddly stuff. Okay, I got two more to go here. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Last one. And go ahead and clip this excess off. Get it out of your way. Makes it a little easier when you get down to this last one. Because of the way the laser makes the holes, as you tighten each one of these up, it kind of self-aligns the landing gear. As long as you have that angle, that top angle real close to what it should be on the pattern. Once you tighten all four of these up, it makes it go right where it needs to be. It centers it up. Okay, last one. A lot of guys ask about the fishing line for the hinges, and I'm a pretty firm believer that you need at least the 25 pound. The 25 pound. If you go thicker, it makes it harder for the servos to move the hinge, and if you go thinner, when you try to push the control surface onto the stabilizer, it's so soft that it makes the fishing line kink on you. But the 25 pound seems to be just the right amount. Okay, so now that we have all four of our ties on there, we're going to use some medium CA and put it on each one so that it doesn't come untied. Also makes it not move at all then. Just put you a nice fillet of glue all the way around. Let it soak in a minute. And set it off if you have accelerator. If you don't, just let it air dry. It won't take very long. Okay, so there's your landing gear ready to go. Okay, the previous video I had you go ahead and sheet the bottom just like you did the top. Okay, so take your knife and you're going to slit just right on the forward side of this bulkhead. Once you get your knife through one little spot, you can bring it to the sides. Now you're asking probably, why didn't you put the landing gear in beforehand? Well, you can, but I prefer to do it this way, just simply because I think it's easier. But I know some of you are a lot better builders than I am, and can easily do those sheets with the landing gear in place. I just find it easier to do it this way. You just want to cut out just enough so that it will slide through there. Pretty close. Just a hair more. Okay, there we go. Okay, you'll note, let me pull it back out. This center hole, you want to line it up with the hole that's in the bulkhead. I don't know if I'll be able to get that in frame or not. There we go. You can see, it's a lot easier to see in first person. Okay, once you have that lined up, take you some thin CA. I think the tip's clogged. Yep. And tack it into place. Oops. Didn't have it held very good. Once you that's looking pretty good. Okay, then I'm going to come in with some medium CA and glue all around the edges on the inside. Put a nice bead all the way around it. Let it soak for a second and spray some accelerator on it, and you'll be done. Okay, so there's still plenty of 1/16 sheet left that you can cut to fill in the hole you made. That's what we're doing right now. Okay, getting pretty close. Your piece is going to end up looking pretty close to what you see there. Just a little too wide. Just take a little bit off the sanding block. again, it's up to you whether you want to wait to sheet the bottom until you have the landing gear in. If you're not, it's no big deal. You can do it either way. Okay, so that's your landing gear install. Don't glue your fingers. And it takes just very little sanding to sand off what you just put in there. Okay, landing gear. Where's that? Okay, now we're going to do the wing hold down dowels. Oh boy, I've already broke them off. Okay, so you want to center up your dowel. And glue it in place. Okay, now you want to take your scrap piece and you want to fill in this area from the bulkhead to the wing dowel. Most likely there's a piece here that will fit right in there. And it's that one right there. Each one's just a little bit different. The wing dowels are just a little bit different. So we couldn't make a laser cut piece for you. Apologize for that, but just the way it is. It really doesn't take much to make this little piece, so we didn't think it'd bother too many of you. Try to get this so you guys can see what I'm doing. This is fairly important to make sure you put this in here, because the 1/16 balsa by itself is not strong enough to hold that dowel. So you have to put this reinforcement on it. Don't neglect to do this. So here's what we're looking at. I don't know if you can see it. Focus. You want to fill that. See the way I have the grain also? That's the best way to do that juncture right there. So once you have that in place, go ahead and glue her in. Then you're going to take your 1/16 sheet and strip off about 3/16 of an inch and the width of the fuselage. You're going to want about 3 pieces of this. Doesn't have to be exactly 3/16 or 1/16. Oops. got it. And then you're going to use this 1/16 balsa to fill in all the way around this part of the fuselage, the leading edge dowel. And then once you have those in place, this one on the bottom is a little bit trickier, but not bad. Just trimming it to fit right in there. It's fitting pretty good. I'll take that. Move it in place. Okay. You'll see it looks, oops. It looks a little bit ugly right now. But use your sanding block, and it only doesn't take very much to get her all sanded nice and round. And once you do this, you'll see how nice it looks and how strong it is now. It really ties that leading edge dowel into the fuselage. Just wasn't a really good way to do it otherwise. Of course, you'll want to sand it just a little bit better than what I just did, but you can see how that really makes it solid. Now your wing's got a real good place to mount. Okay, the rear wing dowel, that's real easy. You just twist as you're pushing it through the hole, center it up, and glue it. There's enough meat there between the bulkhead and the top sheet where it mounts that it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so that's build video number 2. We covered the landing gear and the wing dowels. Next video, we will cover the elevator and the vertical fin installation. And we may get into servo and motor installation. Until next time, have fun and God bless.